8th, and 3-year-olds. And we have 3-year-olds. Skip Away was second in the Preakness in the Belmont. Louis Quatorze won the Belmont. The 3-year-old title really is still wide open.
And we've got a lot of Breeders' Cup implications here, too, and we'll see these horses that are taking aim here. We have a field of 7 with the Haskell winner, Skip Away, breaking from the inside post with Shane Sellers. He's the even money favorite right now. Swaps and Dwyer winner, Victory Speech, is in post 2 with Gary Stevens aboard. Number 3 is a locally based Firm Dancer, a long shot. Louis Quatorze, the Preakness winner, is number 4 with Pat Day. He's up at 3-1. O'Dial, a promising California shipper, is next with Corey Nakatani up. And 2 locally based runners round out the field, Victor Cooley and Stefanoidis. The Woodbine Million has had a lot to do with the Breeders' Cup. Prize and both Dan Smartley won the Woodbine Million and went on to win the Turf and the Distaff respectively. But more importantly, Concern and AP Indy both were beaten in the Million and went on to win the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Well, the setting for this is Woodbine Racetrack up in Canada, and we have our man up there. Brian Blessing is going to give us his view of the Woodbine Million.
The battle continues this afternoon. Skip Away and Louis Quatorze have been knocking heads since the spring. The seasons may have changed, but these two remain consistent, determined competitors with their sights set firmly on the 3-year-old championship.
There's a lot of importance in this race. The TRC poll has Skip Away first, us second, just by a few points. And I think if Skip Away was to be unchallenged here, it'd be hard to catch up. And on the other hand, if Louis does do well and wins, well, that puts him maybe in front. So that's the reason why.
Well, you know, we're just a little disappointed in the race at the Travers because he would have then solidified his, you know, the championship. He's still in front in the polls, but he has to beat Louis Quatorze this weekend to be champ.
Who's best? The Woodbine Million could very well decide the issue. Skip Away's 96 resume includes $1.5 million in earnings, wins in the Haskell, Ohio Derby, and Bluegrass Stakes, with runner-up finishes in the Preakness and Belmont. Since winning the Preakness, Louis Quatorze has notched a win in the Jim Dandy and ran second to Will's Way in the Travers. The rivalry between the two camps is undeniable, but it remains friendly.
With Sonny, it's different. I mean, I know Sonny, you know, someone said that, Sonny said, well, they got to come and beat me, you know, and I told someone, Sonny ain't winning anything these days. Maybe, you know, 30 years ago, he was a great ball player. He was a good football player, but not now. But, I mean, Skip Away, man. So there's something to that.
Oh, yeah, there's not a problem there. We don't have the horses do the running, you know. We just talk.
This is Skip Away's day to shine, not being Breeders' Cup eligible. To grab the 3-year-old title, a win today is essential. Nick Zito feels today's race is a great opportunity. For starters, Louis Quatorze has the chance to outduel Skip Away, while at the same time deriving the huge benefit of getting a race over the Woodbine surface just 6 weeks before the Breeders' Cup.
You know, if you have any inspirations of running against Cigar or whoever else, you should at least have some credentials when you go in there. And if he could win this race, then I think he would make a great presentation for himself, and we'd certainly try to present something really great for the Breeders' Cup. And I think he'd be a worthwhile candidate.
While the 3-year-old American Championship could be decided this afternoon, the same scenario exists for the Canadian 3-year-olds, as Queen's Play champ Victor Cooley and Prince of Wales winner Stefanoidis duel it out one more time. The Canadian contingent has to be taken seriously. 5 of the 8 times this race has been won, the locals have come home a winner. Victor Cooley's trainer Mark Frosted says that's a nice stat, but against this tough bunch, it doesn't mean that much.
Not really. I think that in previous years, and on a number of occasions, horses have showed up that weren't really tuned in for the race. I mean, they were using it as a prep, or they coming off a layoff, or they weren't really, they'd had a long, tough season. In this case, it appears to me that the competition is ready and ready to go. So we'll have to see what happens.
That's the starting gate for the Woodbine Million, and we'll go there for the race right after this. Canada, they're nearing the post for the Woodbine Million. They're betting it here at Belmont Park in New York, and right now Skip Away is 6-5 up there and even money here. an interesting game of musical saddles. Shane Sellers had the mount on Skipaway, rode him through the Preakness, then he injured himself. Jose Santos picked up the mount, and he won the Ohio Derby and the Haskell on Skipaway. Then he had a falling out with Sonny Hine after the Travers, and Shane's back. And we wanted to know how it feels for Shane to be getting reunited with Skipaway.
Well, it's unfortunate the way it happened, but that's the way horse racing is, and I'm just excited that the Hines gave me another opportunity to ride him. I was a big fan of his from day one, Skipaway, and hopefully we can give him every opportunity we can to give him a shot to win.
So Shane Sellers reunited with Skipaway. Now down to Bob Newmeyer.
A lot of criticism of Jose Santos in the Travers for his ride on Skipaway. Not much was said about Pat Day's ride on Louis Couture's. In my judgment, there should have been, because Pat Day, normally very, very patient, allowed a non-competitive horse in that Travers by the name of Prince Heaven, I believe it was, to hook him into early fractions of 46 and 1, 110 and 3, much too fast, compromised his chances at the end. Will's Way picked up the pieces to win the Travers. So a more patient ride on Louis Couture's could get the job done. Tom?
I don't think one should rule out the hometown team there of Victor Cooley and Stefanotis. Horses based at Woodbine have a terrific record in this race. It's a kind of a track where you sometimes need to have a race over it to perform well. Dave?
And there's the Preakness winner, Louis Couture's. 2 in.
Louis Couture's and Skipaway renewing that Rivalry 3-year-old championship at stake.
2 more to go. And we'll go to Woodbine and Dan Loisel for the call of the Woodbine Million. All in line.
They're off in the Woodbine Million. Firm Dancer broke well. Victory Speech to the inside. Skipaway is taken in hand early, and Stefanotis wants the front and quickly crosses over to the rail as they move in front of us for the first time, and Stefanotis has the lead. Victory Speech is second. Victor Cooley is on the outside third. Pat Day has the Preakness winner, Louis Couture's, settling in on the rail in fourth position, and in behind that one is a Skipaway. Then we have O'Donnell and a Firm Dancer, and it's Stefanotis who's loose on the lead with about 6 furlongs to run. Victory Speech tracks in second. Louis Couture's is a close third, just 2 lengths off the lead. Victor Cooley's back in fourth now. Shane Sellers has a Skipaway in fifth, 5 lengths off the lead. Then Firm Dancer and O'Donnell. Less than 5 furlongs to run. That initial half was at 46 and 4. Stefanotis leads it by a length. On the outside, Victory Speech is second. Dave will need some running room with Louis Couture's. Victor Cooley has him pinned down on the rail. Skipaway, 3.5 lengths off the lead. Then Firm Dancer and O'Donnell. 3 furlongs to run in the Woodbine Million. They got 3/4 and 10 and 3. On the inside, Stefanotis, and now Stevens is calling for Victory Speech to put in his run. As they come to the quarter pole, Victory Speech on the outside and Stefanotis on the inside. Sellers has Skipaway knocking at the door as they come to the top of the stretch. Stefanotis, Victory Speech, and here comes Skipaway. Skipaway on the outside as they come to the final furlong. And Skipaway has this field on the ropes. On the inside, Stefanotis second. Victor Cooley is closing on the outside. But Skipaway takes center stage. He wins the Woodbine Million. It's tight for place between Victor Cooley and Stefanotis, and then Firm Dancer, O'Donnell, Victory Speech. And I don't think Louis Couture's beat a horse. That's a bit of a surprise.
What a tremendous surge from Skipaway, reunited with Shane Sellers this afternoon, and that's the same racetrack that they'll be running the Classic over in less than 6 weeks. So there's Skipaway, your unofficial winner of the Woodbine Million. We'll be back, find out who finished second and what it all means up there after this. If you tuned in late, you missed a performance of one tough 3-year-old colt, Skipaway, making his 11th start this year. He's raced in every month in 1996 except July. He now has 5 wins. He's won 3 of his last 4, and it is a powerful stretch drive that he puts together to really humble the competition. He's by Skip Trial, who stands at Arthur Appleton's farm in Florida. Let's go down to Bob Newmeyer and take another look at the Woodbine Million.
At the extreme left of your screen is Skipaway with the red and the gold stripes and the red cap under Shane Sellers. And he sat off the pace today, and it was a lively one that was set up. Stefan Otis, the Canadian, and jockey Mickey Walls in the brown on the rail. Victory speech with the white bridle, and Gary Stevens gave it a go. He gave up the ghost on late Victor Cooley to secure second money. But a decisive win for Sonny Hines, skip away, and jockey Shane Sellers as we take a look at this fine 3-year-old. And as far as the voting is concerned right now for top 3-year-old of the season, yes, there is more racing left to be conducted this season. But you'd have to say that as of today, this horse would have to be top dollar, top billing for 3-year-old of the year. Wouldn't you agree, Dave?
Yes, I would. This was a big performance, and you have to be looking ahead to the Breeders' Cup. On that racetrack, only an 1/8 of a mile farther, and 3-year-olds have done very well in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Of course, they would have to pay the supplement, and that's the question mark right now. He ran so big this afternoon, they have to be thinking about it. It's official, with Skip Away the winner and the hometown finishing second and third. Skip Away pays $430, $310, $250. Victor Cooley, $650, $410. Stefan Otis, the speedball up front, faded to third and paid $5. A 1/6 exacta worth $35.50. 9 furlongs in 1 minute 49 seconds. So Skip Away is the official winner of the Woodbine Million. We'll be back with more after this.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much. And Sonny, tell us about this horse. You got the speed duel you wanted up front. Do you think you have the 3-year-old champion right now?
I don't think they question now. I thought Louis would give us competition. He's been running hard all year. But we were, according to the paper, we ran together 6 times. I was 4 times up front. And the other horse only won 2 grade stakes. I've won 4, 2 grade ones, so I don't think there's any question anymore.
You've been up here since last Friday. How much of a benefit was that for you?
I think it made a big difference. I learned a lesson when I had technology. You have to be here and work on the track a little bit. And some of the other riders told me the same thing.
Are you going to the Jockey Club?
Yeah, I intend to go to the Jockey Club if all's well.
Okay, Sonny, congratulations. Nicely done. Skip Away, the winner of the Woodbine Million, paying not much, even money here at Woodbine. He got all the respect. This race is set up pretty much as expected. Stefan Otis, a horse that's going to bolt out to the front time in, time out. Louis Couture's did not get to the lead, and that really compromised Nick Zito's horse's chances, and it certainly did set up for Skip Away to come roaring up off the pace. So it is Skip Away. Sonny Hines says he's got the 3-year-old champ, and as we send it back to Dave Johnson, Dave, hard to believe, just 6 weeks from now, we'll be back here in Toronto for the Breeders' Cup.
Right. And Victor Cooley ran a pretty big race, finishing second there. But Skip Trial is the big winner up there. Let's take a look at the splits. The Wittenauer splits from the Woodbine Million. First quarter in 23, the half in 46 and 4 3/4 in 1:10 and 3, and the final time for the 9 furlongs 1 minute and 49 seconds.